What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Kate Bush. And we're back for the final tune in this expanded folder for her 1985 album, Hounds of Love. I did want to comment, I know a bunch of people pointed out that between this and the next proper studio album, there's a number of things she did which are, there were releases, but they weren't on proper albums, so there's some tracks bridging this and the next album. I believe Seb, the proprietor of this deep dive, commented and said that a few of the tunes are in the folders I have access to, but maybe one of them wasn't. Bottom line, once again, shout out to Seb for sharing all this in the first place. And again, once I finish this album, I wanted to finish this folder first, and this is the last track in the larger folder for Hounds of Love. So once I get through this, we'll then go through as many tracks as I can before the next studio album proper. So I'll do what I can to go through it in the right order, and once again, shout out to Seb and all the people commenting on the Kate deep dive. So yeah, the final tune in the folder is a remix of The Big Sky, and it's the Meteorological mix, which I enjoy. Obviously, it relates to weather forecasting and reading different aspects of the atmosphere and environment and so on. So yeah, the idea of the big sky, the meteorological mix, it's a clever little turn of phrase. Once again, I'm not sure in the moment, but I'm realizing, as I did in a different reaction, that Seb's MP3s often have a lot of metadata, so give me one moment and I'll see if there's any additional information here. Yeah, the Big Sky 12-inch is what this comes from, 1986. It says Kate Bush. I don't see any additional production notes. It just gives Kate Bush the composer notes, so I imagine this is her remix, or at the very least the remix. Any additional production was uncredited. But yeah, ultimately I enjoy the original a great deal. It's you know, it's another track where her voice is all over it, but it's also very powerful and percussive. It's very powerful. There's a great deal of energy in the tune. It's sort of relentless. And yeah, ultimately I enjoy the bigness of the sound. So yeah, I'm wondering, I noticed when I queued this up, it's almost 8 minutes long, so I imagine it is extended relative to the original, but I don't know if there'll be any new aspects put in. But ultimately, yeah, I do enjoy the original, so looking forward to this version. Let's find out what it is. This is Kate Bush, The Big Sky, and it's called the Meteorological Mix.
just like the tree at the bottom of our garden.
That cloud looks like an all-rounded deer.
That cloud looks like Cumulus castellus.
That cloud is nothing but trouble.
This cloud looks like, one of those things.
That cloud looks like one of those brown shiny things.
That cloud looks like snow. No, it doesn't. This cloud looks like rain.
Sound like Terry Jones from Monty Python. Doesn't.
This cloud should be removed immediately.
That cloud looks like industrial waste.
Just feel it rearing back. The bass. Ceaselessly energetic. Normally I would feel like the track would be ready to fade here, but I think it was like 8 minutes long, so it can't be over yet. Sorry, Gabe. Like, how did she do that? This face. So that was 8 minutes. That didn't feel like 8 minutes. But it was indeed just about 8 minutes. I guess it's like I was so hypnotized by the main groove of the tune that I didn't realize. I don't even know how she does that when she goes super high and like piercing like that. It's insane. So yeah, once again, her vocals are all over the track, just amazing. Yeah, it felt like there was an extension, but it did like I didn't notice anything that felt completely different from what the original did. So it just felt like more of the original. Perhaps there were some parts with an additional layer or a slight extension between verses or the reiteration of the chorus, but yeah, like I said, it felt like more of the original tune, and I already enjoyed the original tune a lot. So yeah, top track. Looking forward to the tunes, like I said, spanning between this and the next album. I know there's a few, and they come from some different places, so I'll do my best to go through them. And once again, shout out to Seb, not only for sharing Kate Bush, but for sharing a whole bunch of music that I'm going through in some different deep dives. So big ups to you once again. Shout out to all the Kate Bush fans, very informative, and continue to be very enthusiastic. So I appreciate your assistance and enthusiasm as we go through her work, which I mentioned before, going into this deep dive, it was essentially one tune, and I didn't really know this significance. It's a name I knew, and I knew that one song, which is Running Up That Hill, but I didn't know who she was in terms of her significance, and the fact that she's now been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it's like amazingly perfect timing for someone like me who's coming late to the game. But I imagine for a number of other people, they're like, well, it's not amazing timing in the sense that it should have happened a long time ago. So I do appreciate that, but it's crazy the way that, once people brought her to my attention, and again, shout out to Ron, Duran Duran fan who was following those reactions, and I had reacted to a couple different people, including a Japanese singer named Utada Hikaru, and he listened to one or two of her tunes that I reacted to, and he's like, there's some elements here that are reminding me of Kate Bush. You really should go down that deep dive, and here we are. So shout out to Seb, shout out to Ron, shout out to all the Kate Bush fans. Do let me know what you think of this version of The Big Sky, and I will see you next time. Peace.